Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 16 of the Tink and Bobble podcast. My name is Sierra. I am your host here. I live in southern Indiana with my husband Josh and our two cute pups, which may interrupt us today. That happens often. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about all things knitting and a teeny bit of crochet, except not today because I haven't really done any in the last couple of weeks. But hi, thanks for coming back if you've been here before. I love you all, and welcome if you're new. We have a lot of fun here. I feel like we're pretty cool people, so welcome. I know there have been quite a few new people since last episode, so thanks for joining. There's also more exciting news from last episode. I did a giveaway, so if you watched the last episode, then you will have seen that I was hosting a giveaway to celebrate hitting 500 subscribers, which is crazy. And here I can show you what we're giving away, but I'm going to be announcing the winner. And I thought I'd just go ahead and do it at the beginning of the episode so I don't keep you waiting. But I'm giving away these beautiful minis. They're so beautiful and springy, and I just love them. As well as a copy of the stripy turtle tank pattern, which I can show you what that tank looks like, because I have mine right here. This is the stripy turtle tank by Emily Curtis of Emily Curt on Instagram and 108 Stitches here on YouTube. I will have everybody, yarn dyers, makers, pattern designers, everything linked down below, as well as my Ravelry page where you can find project pages for everything, and my Instagram. So yeah, I'm going to be giving away a copy of this pattern and these 5 minis, so you can make your own springy stripy turtle tank, or whatever you want with these minis if you don't want to make the tank. But that's what I'm giving away. I had you all comment and let me know what you were most looking forward to about the springtime, and it was so much fun to read your comments because I am just so excited for more sunshine and warmer weather and being outside more. I love being outside. My dogs love being outside. My husband loves being outside, so I'm very excited. And it was really fun to read all your comments and see what you guys were looking forward to. It was funny, there were a couple people that live like in Australia. I think they were both from Australia. That were like, we're just coming out of summer here. Like, it's been crazy hot. And I always think that's so funny that like our experiences are so opposite on different sides of the world. So that was funny. But anyways, I had a random comment picker. I just Googled comment picker and picked that and went through all the comments except for like my responses and stuff. And the winner is Lisa! Lisa Crochet Everyday, I think is her name here on YouTube. Lisa, hi! Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. You won the giveaway. If you want, I'll also have my email down below. You can either DM me on Ravelry, Instagram, or email me at my email down below and get me your shipping information so I can send these to you. And then also, if you have Ravelry, send me your Ravelry name so that I can gift you the pattern. So yay, congratulations Lisa. Thank you so much for entering. Thanks to all of you guys for entering and commenting. I love talking to you guys in the comments, so that was a lot of fun. Alright, let's get into some knitting. I have 0 finished objects for you this week, but I have like 307 whips. That's not actually true. I think I have like 6 total whips on the needles right now, but I'm only going to talk about 4 because 2 of them didn't get worked on. So the 2 that I'm not going to show are my Savin sweater that I'm knitting for my husband. I've talked about that a bunch before. I just haven't really touched it in the last 2 weeks because I've been working on some other stuff. And my scrappy granny stripe blanket that I'm crocheting. I think I've added like maybe half a row since the last time I showed it, so I'm not going to show that one today either. So let's just get into the stuff that I have worked on. The first 2 are things you've already seen, so I'm going to try to remember to show you all my bags. This one's living in one of my Paper Crane Yarns bags. I have like 4 of them sitting in front of me because I love her bags so much. Ashley of Paper Crane Yarns. I'll have her link down below. These are the socks that I was knitting on at work. I say was because my work situation changed. I'll talk about that at the end of the episode. But I'm knitting this pair of socks. Oh my gosh, my husband just texted me that he's bringing me home a Reese's cupcake. They had a party at work and he's bringing me home a cupcake and I'm very excited. This pair of socks I'm knitting out of Sewrella Yarn's Tchaikovsky sock set. This is the main skein and the mini. I got this from her Christmas update last year, 2021, and this is inspired by the Nutcracker. And I'm a dancer, so I had to get the ballet-inspired yarn, and I decided to cast on a pair of socks. I did 2 rows at the top, the cast on, and 2 rows at the top of the mini skein color, and then the rest of the ribbing and the leg in the main skein, and then I just finished doing the heel flap and heel turn in the mini skein colorway. By the way, the mini skein colorway is called Bear, B-E-A-R, and I just started the gusset, so that's where we're at right now. It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, I'm not really following a pattern for these. I'm just doing a basic like 3x1. I did 2x2 ribbing at the top and then 3x1 ribbing for the leg. And then for the foot, I'm going to do the 3x1 on the top of the foot and just regular stockinette on the bottom. So yeah, this one's like half finished. This is my first sock of the pair. I also decided to knit the leg longer than usual. Do I have a pair of socks over here I can show you? Yeah. That's normally how long I knit my legs. So I decided to knit these a little longer because I noticed, sorry I have an inch on my nose. I noticed that I was wanting a little more length on my socks. So yeah, that's whip number 1. Super fun and mindless project. I should say I'm knitting these on US 1 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circular needles, and I'm doing 64 stitches for these. I went back to 64 stitches for these just because I'm doing a like ribbed texture just to make sure they're not too small. But I think for like regular vanilla, that doesn't really make any sense. But anyways, I had been doing 60. These are 64 stitches. Whatever. That's that. The next whip that you've already seen is my Paloma sweater by Espace Tricot. Where's my ball of yarn? Here it is. And I can't remember where I was. I don't use progress creepers. I don't use progress keepers, so I can't remember where I was the last time I showed you this. I'm also trying to figure out which side is the back. Okay, here we go, because there's short row shaping. But I'm knitting this sweater. Let me show it to you first. Ooh, I don't know if the color is showing up on camera, but oh, it's so beautiful. So I just split for the sleeves. I think I have like 1 or 2 inches done in the underarm. But I'm knitting this out of Explorer Knits and Fibers Duomo in her Rockies DK base, I'm pretty sure. And oh my gosh, it is just gorgeous. If y'all have been watching for a while, you know this was like a bucket list colorway of mine, and I couldn't find it anywhere. It was selling out every time it would get like stocked in a yarn shop or something. And so I reached out to Emily of M. Kurt because I knew that she had some in her stash that she hadn't used, and asked her if she'd be willing to de-stash it to me, and she did. And now I have this lovely, beautiful sweater, and I'm so excited. I'm also really excited about this because my husband and I are planning sometime within the next year to go to Italy as an anniversary trip for our 5-year wedding anniversary, which is happening this summer. We're not going to go this summer, but that's the reason we're going. And I'm going to wear this when we go see the Duomo, so that'll be so fun, and I'm very excited. So anyways, it's gorgeous. It's in like Stockinette Island now because I guess I should show you. The sleeves, so the neck is twisted ribbing, and then the sleeves continue a little column of twisted rib all the way down the sleeves, but the body is just plain stockinette. So now that I've split for the sleeves, I'm just knitting around and around and around. I think I'm going to continue knitting on the body until I run out of this skein of yarn. I'm also not alternating skeins, which normally I do, but I feel like all of my skeins are really similar and you can't tell where I switched, so I'm not alternating skeins. But I think I'm just going to keep knitting on the body until I run out of this ball of yarn, and then I'll put the body on waist yarn and do the sleeves, just because I like full length sleeves, so I like doing the sleeves first and then finishing the body, and that way if I run out of yarn it's just a little more cropped, which is fine by me. I like cropped sweaters. I'd rather have a cropped body than cropped sleeves. So yeah, here's my Paloma. I love it. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. All of Espace Tricot's patterns on Ravelry are free and they're all gorgeous, so you should go download them all. So that's whip number 2. I'm sweating in here. I was cold all morning. I cranked up the heat, and now I'm sweating. Let's see. Okay, the next 2 whips are things you have not seen. I cast them on since the last time we chatted. So, the first one, oh, I'm in the middle of a row. Are you kidding me? That's okay. You can still see it. I talked about this last time. I've talked about this a bunch of times, and y'all have seen the yarn that I'm using for this. It is part of my Make 9, but I cast on the Straya Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. Here's the front. I'm in the middle of the row. Here's the front. So it is separated. It's not knitting around. It is a half fisherman's rib. There you can see the pattern. Half fisherman's rib cardigan, knit out of fingering weight yarn. I am using Knit Picks palette, and my main color, let me make sure my needles don't fall out. My main color is Oyster Heather, and then my first stripe here, this is Lynx Heather, Doe, D-O-E, as in deer, doe, a deer. And then Bison and Douglas Fir, and then it just repeats. So there's another row of Lynx Heather, and then another row of Doe, and it just keeps going. This sweater, I picked all my colorways. They were inspired by like the woods and hunting and being outdoors and stuff. And I'm really excited. It's turning out so good. I cast this on March 1st as part of the DRK March to May Knit Along, which if you haven't heard, Andrea Mowry has a little bit of information about it on last week's I'll Knit If I Want To episode, as well as on her Instagram and Ravelry and stuff. But I think this is the 3rd year of her doing it, but from March 1st to May 31st, you can knit either a sweater pattern of hers or a shawl pattern of hers as part of this knit along, and there's a bunch of cool prizes, and it's super fun. So I've been wanting to cast this on for a long time, so I used the cow as an excuse to do it, and this is my March to May project. Lindsay of Sock Witchery is also knitting a Straya cardigan, so we're kind of being each other's cheerleaders on this one. It is fun and it's going really fast. It's an addicting knit, in my opinion, and every other row is just knitting, which is nice, so I feel like it's moving pretty quickly, but also it's like a fingering weight sweater knit on small needles, so we'll see how long it takes, but I'm really loving this so far. Oh, I should mention, I'm knitting that on the recommended needle size, which is a US 3, I think, 3.25 millimeter, and I'm knitting the size 3, which should give me a finished bust of 39.75 inches, which I have a 35-inch bust about, so that's like 4, almost 5 inches of positive ease. I don't think I mentioned, on my Paloma, I'm knitting the size 2, which I think, I have it written down, is a 46.75 finish, so that's like 11, almost 12 inches of positive ease on that one. Yeah, that's the size I'm knitting on that. And then my last whip, wow, I feel like I'm like breezing through these. My last whip is one that I've been meaning to cast on for like a year, that I've had yarn for a year, but I just cast on recently. So this is, if I can get it all untwisted, The Beginnings of an Outline Tank by Jessie Maed Designs. I don't know if you can really see, I've done the twisted ribbing at the bottom and then started on the stockinette for the body. Oh, I also have my cute little stitch marker from Hello Lavender on here. I have one on my Paloma as well. Where is it? My big one. They're so pretty. Oops. I'm knitting this as a gift for someone. I'm not going to say who, but they have a little bit of a smaller chest than I do, so I'm knitting the size 2? Yeah, size 2, size small, which is a 35.5 inch finished bust, I believe. And I'm knitting this out of Knit Picks Lindy chain in the colorway Sagebrush. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it is a chain plied yarn. The colorway is really pretty. And it is, I can't remember the percentages, I don't have a ball band with me, but it's mostly linen and a little bit of cotton. I think it might be 70% linen, 30% cotton. I could be wrong, but it's a linen cotton blend. It does not feel the nicest in the hands, which I think is kind of common for linen and cotton yarns, especially like cheaper ones. Like this is Knit Picks, which Knit Picks has great yarns, don't get me wrong, but they are on like the cheaper side. A lot of them are still really great quality. But anyways, it feels a little bit rough, and the fabric, I like the like density of the fabric, and I think it's going to be really nice and drapey, but right now it doesn't feel like very soft. I'm pretty sure that this is going to soften up a ton once I wash and block it though. So I'm excited to see what happens when I'm done with it. But yeah, this is my outline tank. This is like my first spring summer knit of the year, and I'm getting so excited. I want to knit one for myself. I want to knit more stripy turtle tanks. I'm like very excited to make more warm weather knits. So yeah. Did I say what needle size I'm knitting these on? The ribbing is on a US 3 and the body is on a US 4, which I believe those are the recommended needle sizes for this. Also, I didn't even show you my bags like I said I was going to. This one's covered in dog hair, so like please just ignore that. But it's another Paper Crane Yarns bag with the cute little strawberries on it. This is the first one I ever bought from her. And then my Straya is living in my newest Paper Crane Yarns bag, which I don't think y'all have even seen. It's also covered in dog hair. But this is her new drawstring design, and it has all these mushrooms on it. And mushrooms are having a moment right now. Are they not? And I'm here for it. I love mushrooms. I hate eating them. They're disgusting, but I love looking at them. I think they're so cool. So yeah, and then the inside has this really pretty like cloud fabric. And there's a bunch of big pockets on the inside. I have like all 5 skeins of palette in here. Love it. And then all of my projects, I carry this around the house with me. All of my projects are in my giant Paper Crane Yarns bag with the little bear and the deer and the raccoon on it. Oh, I just love it. I just put like all of my project bags down in here and my needle case and everything. So yeah, that's all the whips. I have one acquisition. I'm still waiting on my like big purchases that I made at the very beginning of the year. I ordered from Woolberry Fiber Co.'s like year in review or whatever she called it, her update, as well as Explore Knit's year in review update, and those should be coming soon, like within the next few weeks. I think they're going to start shipping those orders out. So I should be getting those soon. Those will be big. Whenever those come in, the acquisitions on that episode will be large. So that's exciting. But I just have one acquisition this week, which is my February collective skein from Woolberry Fiber Co., which I think I mentioned I canceled my collective membership for budget reasons, to be honest with you. Even though I love everything Bethany makes so much. I just had to cut back on some things. I also decided to stop getting the, what's it called? The Garden Club from Stress Knits, which kind of broke my heart because I was really excited about making a blanket with all those minis. But yeah, job changes. I'll talk about that at the end. We had to like cut back on some things, which I'm excited about because we're making room in our budget to save for more things that I want more than yarn, so it's fine. But anyways, this is my February collective skein. This is Ode to Valentine on Surrey, and y'all, this is my first ever skein of Surrey. If you don't know, Surrey is an alpaca fiber. It's super fluffy, like mohair, except it's way softer. This is 74% Surrey alpaca and 26% silk, and it's like a heavier lace weight, in between a lace weight and a fingering weight, closer to a lace weight, but it's heavier than mohair lace weight usually is. And it is so soft. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Obviously, I'm going to hold it with something. I haven't decided. I might make a pair of Hibernation House socks, like the ones I knit for my sister-in-law, using this and this like really dark red. I'll hold this with like a dark red skein that I have from Farmer's Daughter Fibers. That would be really fun. Make like some cute Valentine socks. I know Valentine's Day is past, but I love pink, so it's fine. This is so soft, you guys. I can't. Oh, I love it so much. So there's my one acquisition. Of course, I got fuzz in my mouth. Oh, it's so pretty. There's my one acquisition. And then for future cast-ons, honestly, like, I'm really just focused on finishing the stuff that I'm working on. But I think my next project, when I do decide to cast on another project, is probably going to be the Bennett Sister Shawl by Lindsay Fowler. I already have the yarn for it, so this is also on my Make 9 for the year. I'm going to be knitting mine out of Serengeti National Park. Oh, it's so gorgeous. By Explore Knits and Fibers. Oh, isn't this stunning? It's so pretty. I love it so much. So I have 3 skeins of this. I think I only need 2 for the shawl, so I don't know what I'm going to do with my other skein. But I'm going to make the Bennett Sister Shawl with this, and for half of it you just use fingering weight, and then the other half you add in a lace weight like this. And I ordered a like bare undyed skein of Surrey from Woolberry's big update at the beginning of the year, so as soon as that comes in, I'll be ready to start this, and I think that's going to be my next project, because I think this colorway is just really beautiful and springy. So I think that'll be a fun springtime knit, and I'm very excited to make that shawl. I think it's going to be so pretty and cozy, and I love this yarn colorway so much. I'm so excited to knit with it. So that's future cast-ons. Wow, this episode is going by so fast, you guys. Oh, I feel like I just like get excited and I talk so fast. Did I like even mention everything that I wanted to? I think I did. Maybe it's going fast because I didn't have any finished objects to show you today. That's alright. We could chat about what I'm reading and watching. Last week I think I forgot to mention, I either told you what I was reading but not what I was watching, or I told you what I was watching but not what I was reading, so I'm going to try to remember to do both this time. But I finished the Midnight Library by Haig, I don't know how you say it, but I finished that. It was really good. I was like enjoying it through the whole thing, but then in the last few chapters it really like, the way that the story ended took it to the next level for me. I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5 stars, just because I reserve my 5 out of 5 stars for books that I'm like obsessed with and will absolutely read again. But I really do highly recommend The Midnight Library. It was very good. I enjoyed it. I would read it again. It's just not like, you know, obsessed with that book. And I started, after I finished that was my nighttime reading. So for my nighttime reading now, I am reading The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. And I'm in chapter 3 or 4, I think. They're kind of long chapters. And this one's a little bit, The Midnight Library was written like very conversationally, and the chapters were super short, so it was like really easy to pick up and put down, and it was a really quick read. This one is a little more like, it's a little more like a regular novel with like longer chapters, and like the story develops a little slower, so it's taking a little longer to get into it, but I'm definitely interested. Like, I'm not bored with it, but I haven't been like hooked in or like developed like real attachments with the characters yet, but I think it's going to be a really good book, so I'm reading that right now. I have not read, what's it called? Dang it, I didn't write it down again. Shadow of Night. I'm pretty sure it's Shadow of Night, which is book 2 of the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness. Why can't I talk? Book 1 is called Discovery of Witches. There's a show on, I think it's a Sundance show, but I know you can watch it on Amazon Prime, that I have not watched yet. But I haven't read that in a long time. That's the book that I've been reading on my phone, like when I'm out and about, and I just haven't been reading on my phone very much recently. So I haven't read that one in a while, but I am really enjoying that series, so I will finish it eventually. It's just happening a little bit slower. So those are all my books. I really want to read The Song of Achilles next. I think that's going to be my next bedtime book that I read, because I love mythology of all sorts, but especially Greek, and I've heard that that book is really good. But yeah, that's all for reading. Watching, I finished Downton Abbey and literally the next day started it over from the beginning because I loved it so much. It was my first time watching it through. I started it before the holidays. I was watching it with my sister-in-law. We were watching it at the same time. and then we both kind of took a break for a while, and I picked it back up a little while ago and finished it and loved it so stinking much. So the next day I started over. So I think I'm like towards the end of season 2 right now. There's 6 seasons. It's on Netflix. It's incredible. I highly recommend. I have not watched the movie yet because I'm a little nervous. I loved the way the show ended. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I thought the show ended perfectly. Like, they tied up all the loose ends in just the best ways without it being, like, too cheesy or, like, unbelievable or whatever. I thought it was a really satisfying ending to the show. So I'm scared to watch the movie because I don't want it to, like, ruin the way that it ended for me. But I was actually messaging Bethany a little bit of Woolberry Fiber Co. about this because she's coming out with a Downton Abbey collection at the end of the month, which I'm saving my pennies for. I'm so excited. She's going to start revealing colorways soon, and I just, like, can't handle myself. But anyways, she said the movie was good, so I might watch it. I don't know. I'm still a little nervous, but I'm watching Downton Abbey again. As far as YouTube podcasts, I'm watching, like, everyone, as always, but I thought I'd just mention someone that I haven't mentioned before, I don't think, on here, that I love watching, and that is Rebecca of the Crocheteveryday knitting podcast. She lives in Edinburgh now, I think, which is where she's from. She used to live in London, maybe? I could be totally wrong, but she has the best accent ever, and I love her makes and, like, her color palette and style, and she's very relaxing to watch, so highly recommend. I'll have her link down below, as well as everybody else. And yeah, I think that's all for, like, the normal stuff that I chat about. If y'all want to hear about life, I have a little bit of life stuff to share. So yesterday actually was my last day at UPS. If you've been watching for a while, then you'll know that my husband and I both worked at UPS. I started there last January, so I'd been there for a little over a year, and actually the plan was only for me to work there for a few months so that we could finish paying off our student loans, which we did last August. But yeah, then I just ended up staying because it was a good job, and I knew that I would be leaving at some point, but it was kind of unexpected that I was leaving so soon. But I am leaving because, or I left because I got offered a job working from home for a friend of mine that I used to work for a few years ago, and so yeah, now I'm gonna work from home, and I'll be managing social media for her company and, like, rebranding her company and managing her website and all of that, which is some of the stuff that I did for her before, and I'm very excited. I have a little bit of, like, it's just a little bit nerve-wracking because I'm working as an independent contractor, so, like, you know, I have to make my own schedule and, like, stay on task while I'm at home, and, like, obviously I'm, like, trying to promote her business, so I want to do that well, so that's just a little bit nerve-wracking, but I am very excited, and it'll be really nice to be able to work from home and be home with the puppies all day, which I know they will enjoy, and yeah, so I'm very excited. Hopefully also that means that I can be a little more present here on YouTube and on my Instagram. I'll just have a little more breathing room in my life. I'm only doing this job part-time, so yeah. I think I've mentioned on here before that I am in the process of becoming certified as a birth and postpartum doula, and so this is going to give me more hours back in my week to finish working on that certification and to take some more clients, and that's all really exciting. And I also had an art, like, calligraphy and illustration side hustle going on before I started working at UPS that I kind of put on the back burner that I would like to start up again. It's actually getting, like, a brand makeover, completely renaming it and everything, but I have more time to do that now too, which is really exciting. So a lot of exciting things coming with this new job opportunity, and yeah, I'm pretty pumped. It's gonna be great, and I'll have so much more knitting time. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that until just now, but I'm gonna have so much more knitting time. I will be able to knit on all kinds of things during the day instead of just a pair of socks, which is very exciting. So yeah, that's all I have this week. Congratulations again to Lisa for winning the giveaway. Don't forget to contact me. I'll have all my contact information down below. I'll have all of these makers and dyers and pattern designers and everything linked down below. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you again in 2 weeks, probably. Bye!